What's up, guys? It's your boy Darkskin, and today we're going to be breaking down who is better between Valenti and Red King. Now, if you guys don't know, Valenti and Red King are two sides of one coin because they kind of both do the same thing. Like, their job is kind of the same thing. It's pretty different, but it's also the same, so I'm going to have to break it down, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people have this misconception that I just automatically say or think that Valenti is just better than Red King, or that, you know, she's just, you know, Red King is just useless in comparison. Like, I don't know why people think that about me. I've never said that Red King wasn't good. I don't know. But anyway, so we're going to go ahead and break it down and everything like that, so you guys have the information and you have the facts. Because I know a lot of you guys skip Valenti because you were told that Red King's better. I know a lot of you guys skip Valenti because you'd rather get King, etc. So let's go ahead and get into it and everything like that. So, starting off, Valenti, her first card, 180% damage, decreases defense-related stats by 20%. Her rank 2 is same damage, decreases defense-related stats by 30%. And then at rank 3, it is 300% and decreases defense-related stats by 40%, right? For 2 turns. So, there is that. Going on to her second skill, 120% AoE. At rank 2, it's 120% AoE, decreases attack-related stats by 20%. And then at rank 3, 150% damage, decreases attack-related stats by 30% for 3 turns as well. Her ultimate, 630% damage, does Rupture, which is double damage to buffed units. Nothing crazy. But this is the main point of Valenti. This is now where we're going to get into what she's made for, basically. Decreases all enemies' pierce rate by the value of the hero's resistance at the start of the battle. Now, keep in mind, this she has to be on the field, right? She cannot be in the 4th slot. She has to be on the field. When she dies, her passive goes away. Now, at level 1 base stats, her resistance is 20%, right? At level 86, 6-star, her resistance is 24.5%. Now, we're going to be talking a little bit more about her going forward, but we'll come back to this. So, talking about Red King, right? His first card inflicts damage equal to 120% of all enemies. At rank 2, it's 120% disables recovery skills, which, if you guys don't know, Arthur has the same exact thing, disable recovery skills. So this means that King cannot cleanse, he cannot heal. Same thing with Lilia. He stops people from doing any of that, right? And then obviously at rank 3, it's 180%. Disables recovery skills for 2 turns, right? Going on to his next card, 100% damage to all enemies, applies Explode, and then 150% applies Explode, 200% apply Explode. Now, Explode does additional damage equal to 100% of the damage dealt after X amount of turns. So, after 2 turns, he'll do the same amount of damage again. Right here after 1 turn, and then right here after 1 turn, he'll do the same amount of damage to you again. So that is how this card works right here, if you guys did not know. Now, his ultimate, the same exact ultimate as all the Skinny Kings. He has the, the AoE, ignore resistance, obviously, yeah. So now, let's talk about his passive, right? Let's get into his passive and, what we're going to be talking about, etc. In PvP, reduce the pierce rate of all enemies by half, as well as reduce any additional pierce rate by half. So what that means is, he's going to be reducing everyone's pierce rate, cut it in half. And then if there's anyone that's giving extra pierce rate to the team, or if you take pierce rate food, anything like that, he's cutting that pierce rate in half as well. So that's how Red King works. Now, a lot of people don't know who's better, or they want to know who's better, or whatever the case may be. So let's go ahead and go over everything they do, etc. Now, talking purely skills, right? Skill 1, skill 2. Valenti is better, 100%, right? Defense down and attack down is way better. Like, it's just infinitely better than what King has. King's cards do no damage, like none at all. Disable recovery skills isn't going to matter because you're coming from the 4th slot. You're never going to be running King up front. So it's like, if you come out, you might be losing already, right? If King is on the field. And then this explode is just one of the, like, this is just not that good either. Most people run cleanse, and even if you don't, like, if you're going against like most teams are trying to 1-tap you, 2-tap you, etc. And it's like, this would be good if his cards did damage, but like 100% damage is not good. 150 is and then 200 is as well. But so yeah, so if we're talking purely skills, Valenti is way better, right? Defense down and attack down is just way better. Like, she's raw utility. King doesn't have any utility really on his cards, and he's not doing damage, so he's kind of just there. That's exactly why he's good for the 4th slot. And not, you know, we're not going to go over ultimates because I'm going to keep both ultimates at 1. And it's like Valenti, like King's ult, like I said, King is running in the 4th slot, so his ult shouldn't matter. And it's like Valenti is being used for her passive and maybe her utility cards, so her ult shouldn't really matter as well. So we're not going to be talking about those two, but I mean, if you wanted to, Valenti's ult is a lot better in the tank meta with Merlin running around. Not to mention Arthur. King's ult is a lot better when it comes to red units, which, I mean, there's not really that many red units. I mean, if somebody might be running Arthur, somebody might be running Hauser, but on the pin team with Blue D Melly, Blue Lilia, Green Escanor, it's like whatever. Oh wait, well, what am I talking about? He's a red unit. I'm trolling. Yeah, his ult is actually pretty good. I'm trolling. I'm thinking about Blue King. Anyways, his ult is pretty good, but again, Blue Demon Melly, Blue Lilia, it's not going to be doing that much damage because they're blue units. So, I mean, he will hit Escanor fairly hard, but Escanor has, like, dumb stats. So, I mean, like, neither ult is really doing anything because it's like Valenti, yeah, this is good for Merlin, but it's like, this is not going to be the difference, really. Like, anyone with a brain's just not going to buff, you know? So, it's like, neither of their ults are really, like, the difference changer, in my opinion. Now, let's talk about their passive, right? And like why King or Valenti's passive so good. Now with King, number 1, his like decrease is universal. It doesn't matter if it's geared, ungeared, whatever. It can always be used, right? It'll always proc the same way. Not to mention, since he's Skinny King, you are probably going to have a lot more cosmetics for King, right? Let's go ahead and look at King, or my King anyways, right? For my King, I already have 5 UR outfits. I have 3 UR weapons already, which I'm going to get 2 more eventually. And then I already have 5 UR headpieces. So my Red King is already going to get all of that. Not to mention, there's almost not a single person in the game that should not make UR gear for King. So on top of having all of these cosmetics, Red King is going to be able to get UR gear from Blue King. So now, on top of the cosmetics and the UR gear, King gives a lot more combat class than Valenti will. On top of, obviously, if you get dupes, you can feed dupes if you want. But yeah, so now, King is going to be having way more combat class. On top of, he can be ran in the 4th slot, so you can run basically any team you want, right? If you want to run, you know, Blue D Melly, Lilia, Escanor with King in the back, you can. If you want to run Red Escanor, Red Gother, Red Arthur with King in the back, you can. If you want to be that guy and run, you know, I don't know, you want to run SR units with King in the back, you can. The point is, you can run King in the 4th slot with any team you want in the front slot, which is really, really good. Now, the thing about Valenti is Valenti only decreases based off her resistance. So if her resistance is low, she will not decrease that much. So at 86 star, you know, level 86 star, her resistance is only 24%. So she's only decreasing by 24%. So 9 times out of 10, King is better, 100%. King is better 100%, 90% of that time. And the reason why I say that is because 10% of the time, right, the player is going to build resistance gear for Valenti, right? And they're going to build resistance gear for Valenti, and then her resistance becomes 93%. If you have, it does, and listen, your resistance gear doesn't have to be max rolled, right? If this is like 25%, this is like 25% and you're fine. You're missing out on what, 10% resistance? Even if this is like 83%. If Valenti has high rolled resistance gear, she becomes better than King simply because King is cutting the resistance in half. Valenti can make the resistance, I mean the pierce rate. King's cutting the pierce rate in half. Valenti can make the pierce rate 0, right? So it's like, if Meliodas or Lilia's pierce rate is not high enough, like, Valenti can make the pierce rate 0. Not to mention, you can use green Guild Thunder and resistance food to make sure, because like, if I use those two, my resistance becomes like 153, percent. So it's like, 9 times out of 10, Red King is the better option, 100%. But in the, in the very small chance that you have built your Valenti or built gear for her, etc., she becomes a monster. Now, I know what people are going to say, well, you can't run her from the 4th slot. You don't need to. You don't have to run her from the 4th slot. She's going to be tanky, you know what I'm saying? And if you're like me, I run Blue King. So this is my team. This is the team that I run. So it's like, I'm already running King, so I can't even run Red King anyways. So, in the event that you get like high roll resistance gear from Valenti will be better. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to be King, because King is going to be, because like, no one's going to make UR gear from Valenti. Let's be real, right? So it's like, Valenti won't have UR gear. If you don't build resistance gear for her, Valenti won't have resistance gear. And it's like, if she doesn't have that, King's going to have more combat class, and his passive is going to be working a lot better than hers will. So, 9 times out of 10, King is better, 100%. Valenti does bring more utility on the front line, but that doesn't matter with King, because if King's in the 4th slot, you can just build whatever team you want, right? With Valenti, you kind of have to build the team with her on it. But, yeah, like, if you have good gear on Valenti, she's better. But 9 times out of 10, people won't. So King is the better option, because that's the thing, right? King can be used, like, his passive is used in geared and ungeared. Now, Valenti's passive is used in ungeared as well, right? My Valenti with no gear, this is how much resistance she has with no gear. Right? Let me go ahead and just take this off. With no gear, her resistance is 33%. And that's coming from her outfits, right? She has like 3 outfits. Look, resistance, 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 right? 4 outfits give her a little bit of resistance. So that's where that's coming from. So she's going to, subtract 33%. So it's like, if they have more than, 66%, King becomes better. Because like, if it's 80%, right? King cuts that in half, it becomes 40. If they have 80% and Valenti cuts, subtracts hers, they're gonna have like 50-ish%, etc. So, if the enemy has double Valenti's resistance or more than double, King is better and ungeared. So, which most of the time they won't, I guess you could say. But once again, it's literally like, if you don't have her outfits, she's not gonna have that much as well. So it's like, it's literally just King's better 90% of the time, right? Like, look, his pierce rate becomes 20%, right? With King, it becomes like, what, 26, 27, something like that. So it's like, King's whole thing about being better is more combat class and used in a 4th slot. But anyways, that's going to be it for this video. Be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Comment down below. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. With that being said, I will see you guys next time. Peace.